Hey, what's good, y'all? I'm back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about some recent Twitter discourse that has, in fact, taken place. I actually got caught up in all this discourse. I want to start off by saying that this discourse does involve a person, a trans person, who goes by the name of Doe, and they have recently made an attempt on their life, and I just want to say that first and foremost, my heart goes out to that. I've struggled with wanting to live and things like that, and I know plenty of people that have made attempts and have struggles with this that are near and dear to my heart, and I would never want to see someone in pain because of that. However, I'm a person that believes that, life has to keep going, right? So just because a person might have done something like this, does that mean that we don't talk about hard conversations when hard conversations need to happen? I think if it's done in a respectful manner, that's fine. I don't like this whole idea that if someone had just done something like that, then you have to back away and walk on eggshells and you can't say anything about the person. Like, what if the person does that, but then they're acting out and they're saying racist, homophobic, whatever it may be, things? Are you supposed to then just ignore it because of the sensitive situation that has just occurred? In my opinion, I would say no, that when you draw your line and your morals, if it would fuck up your integrity, you have to stand up and say something. But obviously I'm going to do it as carefully as I can. So basically, this discourse that went down involves pronouns and the pronouns of it's. And I'm going to get into that in a minute and explain my issues with it and why I'm not going to personally use them. But before I do that, I just want to explain how it got to this point and how it happened under the post that I did. Because this happened in a Twitter thread. Here's the Twitter thread. I'll also be just showing random tweets during the video, but I'm not going to read out the tweets for you, so you can just read them on your own. But I do want to point this out, is that I started off by just giving my support, just giving my condolences, not condolences, but just giving my respects, basically. Like, I was saying that I was watching Demon Mama's live stream, Doe was on there, they were having a conversation. They seemed in really good spirits, and it's always the people that you're never going to be able to tell. The people that are constantly talking about it is usually just because they're calling out for help and they're looking for attention. If they're constantly using that as a threat, then they're probably not actually going to do it. It's the ones who are quietly backing away and don't want to be seen. That's what you have to worry about. The ones that seem fine, they're going to go off on their own because they don't want nobody to know, because they're actually going to do it. So I made that comment, and the way people started responding to me is they started giving me shit because I didn't use its pronouns. And then I tried to explain that I'm not cool with using that. And then I got even more shit for not being cool with that, right? So I got even more shit for not being cool with that. And I got fucking dogpiled. So I got frustrated, and here's where I really fucked up. And I do want to make an apology for this portion. I did something I shouldn't have. I was getting all this negativity that I just wanted to have a bigger platform and be able to speak, not fucking tweet. I wanted to speak so I could explain myself. And in this thread, I asked to debate either Demon Mama or Vash, and that was a fucking bad move, obviously. That was disrespectful. So I do want to apologize for that. Okay, so moving on from that, it's pronouns, why I'm not going to use them, and how is this different than, you say, someone who wants to be called she, her, they, them, Zer, or anything else that's a neo pronoun. Well, this is the way that I look at it. I'm okay with any pronouns that someone wants to use. If it feels good, if it helps your dysphoria, if it fits you, then use it. Where I draw the line, though, there has to be a line, though, because I want to make this clear. Not everything in the world is valid. Some people on the left get this idea that you can make your own world and anything is valid, but that's just simply not true. Not everything is valid. Trans people are valid, non-binary people are valid, neo-pronouns are valid, but not everything in the world is valid. If you say you're a table or a frog, you can't be that, right? Because trans people are valid because they're people. They're just working in the binary or somewhere in between. They're non-binary, right? Those are all people, but you can't be a fucking object. That doesn't make any sense. So now that we established that not everything is valid, I want to explain where I draw the line as far as pronouns go in neo-pronouns. I draw the line at anything that's disrespectful. I will not call you something disrespectful. Somebody made a good point, but I couldn't find the tweet. They asked someone else that was also giving people shit about the whole it's thing. They said, what if I wanted my pronouns to be the N-word with a hard ER? And I was like, yeah, that's a really good argument, because it's the same way I feel about it. I would not call someone that, because that's disrespectful. That word in itself is disrespectful, referring to a human, or just used in general. But when we talk about it, that is degrading. That is something that people have traditionally used to slander trans people, to put trans people down, to harass us, to demean us, to degrade us. And just overall, the definition of it, I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. It might shock you, but you're not an it. Like, that's not valid, and it's disrespectful, because, you know, I hate to tell you this, I am a leftist. I am a fucking trans person. I do support the whole LGBT community and everything like that, but I am a fucking Christian, and I believe a lot of Christians actually get everything wrong, right? So they don't understand a lot of the nuances of the Bible and the historical text, because of the context of the time period. So a lot of things get a little muffled in translation, and definitely things have been changed from the Catholic Church, you know, fucking up the Bible and everything like that. So yeah, so I don't think these things contradict, but I do believe that we are creations of God, and I believe that is something that holds value. I believe that, you know, we have these bodies, and these bodies are on earth, and it's temporary, and like our soul is the most important thing, and our soul is who we are. Our soul is our essence. So if you're talking about your gender identity and the pronouns you use, that's going to be linked to your soul, right? We're made in the image of Christ. I don't feel cool of calling any human being an it, because I think we are spectacular people, and I don't think we should be downgraded like that. You know, so basically that's where I draw the line as far as neopronouns go. If it's disrespectful, if it's fucking icky, if it's wrong, then I'm not gonna do it. You know, if it's something harmful, if you want to be called a fucking Nazi or some shit, I don't know, I'm not gonna do that, right? Like, I'm not gonna call you the N-word with hard ER if that's the pronouns you want. I feel the same way about it, and I feel like we should be able to have this conversation. And I want to bring up one thing real quick. There's a lot of people acting super fucking performative with this whole situation. Like, none of you ever fucking give a fuck, but just because, like, if a fucking leftist is, you know, going through something and they've attempted, and then people have a problem with their pronouns, people are going to act all performative. But when anyone else is going through something, the left is the first one to call for fucking violence and fucking, you know, revel in fucking Republicans getting COVID and, you know, everything like that. So it just feels kind of shitty and performative. And honestly, I'm getting so tired of the far left. I think I've gotten a little too far into leftism. I need to come a little bit back. I'm still a leftist, obviously. I'm seeing some of the fucking crazy coming out, because some of you people are just so far beyond reasonability. Like, alright, I'm ending the video now, because this discourse is fucking dumb. I hope Doe's doing well. I hope she recovers. Fuck it's. I'm not using that bullshit. Peace out.